As long as you're a human being, there are two things that applies to you. The first is the day you were born, the second, the day you die. And in between life and death, there are two things that applies to you as a human. The first is success, the other is failure. It's either you're rich or you're poor. It's either you're hungry or you're full. It's either you are a celebrity or a follower. That's how it is. Two things, just like there is darkness, there is light. There is success, there is failure. There is up, there is down. There is mountain, there is valley. In fact, crackhead, you too good. So what's up, guys? I don't know if you guys heard that yesterday, Sean Combs alias P. Diddy alias Puff Daddy's house or mansions were raided due to some certain information and monitoring and watching, and of course, informants related about Puff Daddy, what he is doing, the secret activities of P. Daddy. First of all, again, I'm not in the United States. I'm not going to say if these things are true or they are not true. For a long time, I stopped listening or following Puff Daddy. I don't know what's going on in his life. But the reason I am reading this news is for a particular reason. I will relay with what is going on somewhere in some other parts of the world just after this CNN news. You are going to...
Breaking news, the Department of Homeland Security has just confirmed to CNN that federal law enforcement agents have raided properties owned by musician and producer Sean Diddy Combs. Let's bring in CNN security correspondent Josh Campbell and CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson. Josh, let me start with you. What do these raids by federal agents in multiple locations tell you about the seriousness of this investigation?
Yeah, Wolf, a very significant development here, seeing this law enforcement action taking place. I'll point out, just to be clear at the outset, we don't know that Sean Diddy Combs himself is the subject or target of a federal investigation. So it's just worth pointing that out at this hour. But what we do know is that two properties associated with him, we saw the feds descend on those properties. We saw on aerial footage, federal agents both here in the Los Angeles area as well as in Miami at those residences. Now, the Department of Homeland Security, their what's called HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, gave CNN a statement. I'll read you part of that when asked about what this activity is. They say that earlier today, HSI New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. That is it, confirming that they are conducting what they're deeming law enforcement action, which could indicate search warrants being conducted there, could indicate arrests being conducted. We just don't know at this hour specifically what that law enforcement action is. It is worth pointing out, though, that Combs himself obviously has faced significant legal woes in recent months. I'll give you just the highlights of what actually occurred. In November, he was sued for rape and abuse by a former partner. That lawsuit was then settled very quickly. But in December, he faced sexual assault allegations in a complaint filed in the Southern District of New York. The suit was brought by a woman referred to as Jane Doe, who said that she was 17 at the time when these allegations took place back in 2003. He was accused of sex trafficking and gang rape, among other allegations, also in that suit naming two of his associates. Of course, Combs denied any wrongdoing there. And then just last month, a former employee of Combs filed a suit also in the state of New York, accusing him of sexual assault, of sexual harassment, and, quote, grooming. That former employee stated that he had worked for Combs between 2022 and 2023. Among those allegations, this former employee, a male employee, said that Combs did not compensate him for his music production work and forced him to procure and interact with sex workers, threatened him with serving alcoholic beverages laced with drugs to guests at parties at Combs' home. And then Combs' son, Justin Combs, was also accused of soliciting prostitutes and underage girls at his father's homes. Again, the Combs have denied any wrongdoing, but just a series of allegations that we've seen taking place. Final point, Wolf, I'll note is that while we don't know the specific allegations or why the feds are at these residences, it is worth pointing out the agency that is conducting this law enforcement activity. It's not the FBI, it's not the DEA or the ATF. This is HSI, Homeland Security Investigations. For those unfamiliar, this is an agency that has long been the forefront specifically at human trafficking investigations. So although we don't have the specifics yet, we're starting to we can glean just based on which agency has the lead, the direction this might go. But again, we don't yet know that Combs himself was the target of the investigation, Wolf. We do know that at this hour that federal agents were at two of his homes, both here in Los Angeles and in Florida, Wolf.
Yeah, important points. And Joey Jackson, now let me repeat, we don't know if Sean Diddy Combs himself is under investigation, but clearly, Joey, it's not good if your homes are actually being raided.
Mr. Combs, how far? What's going on? Huh? What is going on with you and your family? Remember what I told you guys? In between life and death, it's either you're successful or you are not successful. It's either you're rich or you're poor. Some people start from being poor to being rich. Some people are born with a silver spoon, so they start from being rich and gradually they become poor. But these are the two things, irrespective of who you are. You must be in one place. Either you're rich or you're poor. If you say you're just average, you're deceiving yourself. You're poor. You're rich or you're poor. There's nothing like average. So coming to Mr. Sean, what went on? And the reason I'm making this news is because of the situation back where I come from. I have not, or I rarely hear that the Nigerian police or the whatever police raided the home of a celebrity or an artist. I rarely hear that. Maybe it happens secretly. I don't know, but I rarely hear it. So that you can understand that where laws are working in a country, it works. It actually works. Sean Combs, PDD, is a very talented producer and musician. You guys know him. He has made name for himself. Irrespective of that, he is not above the law. No one is above the law. In Nigeria, this is how you should act. This is how you should raid people's homes. When you hear that a certain governor is misusing funds, raid his home. When you hear that a certain celebrity is involved in human trafficking or even if nakuli trafficking, please raid their homes. Nobody is above the law. Nobody. Okay? This is what you should do. Even if it's a sitting senator that does something bad, raid their homes. Raid everybody's homes. Even if it's me, when I come to Nigeria and you find out that I'm doing something illegal, raid my hotel. Raid my hotel room, okay? So you guys should, when you're watching news, either on CNN or on BBC, you see things that are happening in other countries. Sean Combs has the money to bribe anybody he wants to bribe, but his money in this case is not going to work for him. It will not work for him. That's the point of this reason. In my country, people with money bribe the agencies. Yes, I'm not, shy. I'm not afraid to say that because it's the truth. It is the truth. There can't be any kind of bribe in this case. When or if Sean Combs will be found guilty for the reason his home was raided, he will go to prison. Just like R. Kelly, he will go. His money will not save him in this case. So please, my dear country, the federal agents in my country, security forces, you guys need to start doing the needful. Do not look at how much money somebody is going to give to you to prevent you from raiding their homes. Do not look into that. Do the needful. Do the right thing. Because in the end, I don't even know what to talk again.